Hi, it's Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles, and I wanted to show you how I set up to create from what I have, from old jewelry, old findings, and all of that. So what I do is I pull out anything of interest, anything that has parts and pieces I might be interested in using, including chain, and I've got lots of necklaces that this is kind of what I'm thinking of doing for this video, is a charm necklace. We've done some charm bracelets, but I have not done a charm necklace, and I think they're a lot of fun. So it'd be something along those lines. And like, here is a necklace that's really cute. You could embellish this. This necklace I've had for a long time. I could embellish that. This is a weird bracelet, but we could definitely add beads and make that something fun. This one is a name brand, but mine is not signed. Mine does not have a signature, and mine has a little wear, so the parts and pieces are absolutely stunning. I think it's called, what's the name of this brand? Lulu Frost. And I see them listed for a lot, but I've not seen this particular Lulu Frost sold. So a lot of people have it listed for $100, but it's never sold. And I could tell it was something nice. Like this little thing here on the website sells for 45 bucks. But unless I can prove mine is actually a Lulu Frost, I can't list it. And mine does not have a signature. The one I saw online, one of the ones I saw online, the lobster claw was signed. And another one had a signature tag. Mine has neither. But the quality is bar none. The chain, the findings, everything is stunning. So I don't mind using these pieces to create something. Then I just get out an assortment of fun things. And since I know I want to do a charm necklace, I'm going to want a focal piece. So I can go through and pick a key or something like this old clasp that's really fun, that I could make into a pendant. I just have to cut off some of the pieces that show on the edge. I've got weird things like this. This one has a place to hang beads off of, or I can hang it this way. I've got all kinds of different keys, because keys are something I collect. I love to do a steampunk type thing. But even if you don't have a lot of keys, at yard sales and thrift stores, you can find this kind of key all the time. And I think those can be very pretty. Any kind of old key can be used to create with. I like this style right here. I think those are gorgeous. And you can buy these on eBay or Etsy as well for a few bucks each. Same with all these keys. I've picked them up over the years. Some are off of old pieces of jewelry. Some are, these are off of a necklace a friend sent me. Some of these are pieces I picked up maybe at Hobby Lobby, carded. Some of these are earrings that are single earrings. That would make a great pendant. Even if you took it apart and just used that as a charm. I have this piece here that has, this one has chains. Let's see if I can turn it around. Chains and a real feather and a charm feather, and there's another little feather. Just a lot of fun little elements on that. I thought this was a lot of fun. So, and then here's a little piece of leather with rhinestones. It's a connector, and I don't know if it's leather or faux leather, but it's cute. And I've got lockets, and most of this is old jewelry. This was in some little box of junk I bought. And then these are little old lock covers. I forgot what that's called. I have a couple of those. This one I've had for years. It's all bashed up. And then there's this one. You would be surprised. Like this, I know I bought somewhere for $3 or $4. It's very good quality, really beautiful. But you can just look around, and like, here's a necklace that was in one of my boxes. It's got kind of a blue in the background. This nice tassel. So if I wanted to do this for red, white, and blue, that would probably work. So you got to figure out what length of necklace you want. Like this is a earring. Now can you imagine, can you see how big that is? That is one earring. But you can roll that around and make this into a charm or a pendant. I do that with post earrings all the time. So what you need to do is pick the element that's going to be your focal element, whether it be a bead. Now I've got red, white, and blue set out. Let me move the light over here. I got red, white, and blue beads set out because that's what I want to do since Memorial Day is on Monday. Today is Saturday. And then we have 4th of July just a month later. I thought it'd be fun to do something that is a 4th of July themed piece. So these are all laid out on a tray. I always have a tray with red, white, blue, clear, well, red, white, blue, clear, silver, and sometimes a little gold. That way I always have this tray ready when I want to make something in that color palette. And sometimes I'll throw little specialty items like this up there. And then this is a special finding I've got in several different finishes. They're little connectors or eyelets. They're called eyelets. But I thought they were, let me see if you can get a good picture of that. I thought they were really neat. It'd be fun for steampunk to even connect things to those with jump rings and then the jump ring to the necklace. But I've got charms on here too. Here's a button charm that I made. Here's a cute little owl. Looks kind of clay. This is an earring. And you just gather, and like I've got a bunch of little red, white, and blue charms. So you just gather as much stuff as you can. And trust me, it's not that hard to come up with these kinds of things. If you go to Hobby Lobby, they sell a lot of stuff. Go on a regular basis, and when you start seeing the red tags like this, that's when you stock up, because this was a $10 piece I got for $1.74, and it's a really cool little locket. Very heavy, nice quality, very pretty. And then like this was another piece marked down to $2.99 from $12, and they're little cross focals. And then I got this gorgeous tassel. Let me turn it around, with a green rhinestone and a blue, so kind of peacocky colors. $10, marked down to $2.74 or $2.49, 75% off. This is one of my favorites I've not used yet. This was marked down from $20 to $5. And just look at the detail. It's got these gorgeous elements, and I believe they're reversible. Yeah, one side is a pearl, and the earrings reverse too. And one side is the black. And this is a high quality, really beautiful piece. Hobby Lobby is known for their beautiful, beautiful things. And then pull out some chain. Like if you go buy a couple old jars of jewelry at an antique store or a thrift store and harvest the parts out. Now you can look through the jar or the bag and see if there's just one or two really nice pieces worth it. Like this was definitely in my junk jewelry, like a Goodwill box. You can get a lot of, most of this stuff, other than the Hobby Lobby stuff, most of this type of stuff was in my Goodwill boxes that I bought for over a year. And these are just things I took apart. Some are things friends sent me. Some are things I've picked up here and there at the thrift store or yard sales. And you just slowly collect. You have a nice collection, and then you decide on your project and lay it all out. Now I'm going to shut off the camera and come back with the chain I'm going to use. Now here's this chain. This is the kind of necklace I love to find. You've got several different chains. They're all connected. There's this gorgeous pendant. It's very heavy. This very high quality chain, which goes into two other necklaces. And you have a drop necklace here, and then you have this gorgeous flowery, and they're all on different chains, and they're all very nice quality. See, this is yet a different lighter chain here. They're kind of tangled, but it's just amazing what you can get. And then this necklace here that I can't sell because it doesn't have the tags. And I could probably sell it for $20, but for that price I'd rather have all the pieces. This chain is also extremely well made. Stainless steel, I believe. Just feels good to the touch. It's a beautiful piece. So when I come back, I'll have the chain and the focal piece, and then we'll pick beads, and we're going to make a 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day inspired charm necklace that can be worn for any time of the year, but especially on a patriotic holiday. So I'll be right back and we'll get right into it. So first thing I did was decide how I wanted to lay it out. So I decided to alternate red, white, and blue with a silver in between each set. I'm going to loop, I'm going to cut this piece here, loop it on here, and then go up through here and do a loop on the top, which will hook to a jump ring. Now, my other decision I'm trying to decide on is whether I want to put each charm on a jump ring and just have them hang in a cluster at the bottom, or whether I want to hook each one on a specific link of the chain. I'm thinking I'm going to try the jump rings first because I think that would be a really fun look to have them all kind of bunched up at the bottom. And if I don't like that, it's just as easy to take the jump rings off and hook the beads right to the chain. So when I come back, I'm going to show you how to clip this and hook these together. Well, I had wanted to use these, but unfortunately the hole is so big the head pin just pulls right through whether I use a flat or a rounded head. So I don't like the look of the looped heads, which is the only other way, or putting a seed bead on there would be the only way to use those, and I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cut the very end of this head pin off right here. And then I'm going to take my double roller pliers, go way down at the base so I can make a nice big wide loop like that. I need the loop big enough to fit around this key. There we go. We want it to be loose so the key can move. Then we're going to pull this bead, and it has a top. Some of these beads are just where you just poke through the rhinestones. This one actually has a top and a bottom, like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the top. I'm going to roll it, but this time I'm going to make it a little smaller because I plan on putting a large jump ring on it. And you just take these double round pliers, and I'm going to roll it so it kind of tucks down in there really good. Just get it as best you can. I'll take the pliers and kind of pull it tight. Now, the problem is when this goes onto the necklace, it means this loop has to be sideways. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and turn it sideways. So we're going to hold this and turn this sideways. So that way when I put this jump ring on, it will hang the proper way on the necklace. You want to feel it kind of rub against itself so that you know it's tight. Now, what I'm going to do is start looping these, and all I'm going to do is the same thing I did on there, except these are going to have small loops because I'm going to put them on the jump ring. So I'm going to just turn it, loop it slightly, the lighting in this room, I have every window open, I have tons of lights on, and it's still just dark as can be. I'm hoping the lighting is actually better than it's showing on my screen. So what I'm going to do is I always use my other loopers and tell you about these, so I decided today to use the loopers that are more common to buy. I can tell I'm not used to using these. And loop it that way. And so what I'm going to do is loop all of these till they look like this. Then we'll put the jump rings on and we'll hook it all together. So we got the first. Now the reason I've decided to do this is you can hook each charm onto the necklace, but it is going to be a lot of counting and double checking and making sure everything, you know, you count up exactly where you want each charm. And I think it'll look fun to be all kind of clustered down on the bottom. So I'll be right back once these are all looped, and I'll put the jump rings on except for one. I'll show you how I do it, and then we'll start hooking them on. Okay, I've got them all looped onto jump rings. So what I'm going to do is get them back on the jump ring because I picked it up and it fell off. And I'm just going to pick up the chain and set the chain inside. Now sometimes you have to use pliers to do this. Sometimes you don't. I'm going to do it each side one by one. I mean, alternate. You could do one whole side if you wanted at a time, but I'm going to go back and forth and alternate it. Okay. Then I'll put the two red on. Like I said, if you want to do the counting, you absolutely could hook them directly to the chain. And I do that on the bracelets, but I'm also doing every link. And usually they're not matched, so it's just random choice. I just try to balance it good so I don't have, I have the bracelet itself balanced. I've always wanted to make a necklace like this, and I, for some reason, never have. Just got to make sure you do not hook it on. You let it drape through the hole. And then just shut it. Now, it really doesn't matter what size jump ring and what size chain. All you have to do is make sure whatever chain you use, the jump ring will fit around it. So it really doesn't matter. Now I can tell you what the size of this chain is and the size of this ring is, but that doesn't mean that's what you're going to end up with. So my advice to you is to pick out a chain you love, and then just make sure you have a nice selection. If you go to Hobby Lobby fairly often, the findings are on half price at least once a month, if not more. And I never buy them full price. I always wait till they're half price. Sometimes you need to use the pliers. But it's a good idea when they're half price to go buy. See, I just rub it until I feel the edges. And you'll feel them rub on each other. You'll feel the scrape, the gentle scrape when they, they want to grab the chain. You've got to keep them from doing that unless that's your goal. Now see, that one, I could do it by hand. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. We're almost done, and then we can hold it up and see what we think. I think I'm going to like it though. Okay. And then when you get it made, you can hold it up or put it on and see how long the chain is and if you want to adjust the length. If you like a really long necklace, then you don't have to do much. It depends on the size chain you're using too. And you can even figure that out ahead of the ahead of the design. Like as you're designing it, you can actually put the chain on and put the clasp in front and figure out where you want the clasp. Yeah, look. Isn't that fun? I like it. I like it. Hopefully you do too. But you could make this as thick as you want. Like if you wanted to go up a couple inches, you could just keep going. I wanted kind of a cluster at the bottom. You could hang a bead in front, but I don't think it needs it. And I put just a little bit of silver in there to pick up the silver in the chain and the key. Now, this is a pretty long chain. This is a stainless steel chain. Gorgeous quality. It already had a clasp, but of course you could put any kind of clasp on it you want. And that's what it'll look like when you're wearing it. It'll just look like a fun cluster of beads. And you don't have to use a key. You could use anything. I had these coils. Well, that's not the right color. But you could use pretty much anything. Let's see if I had, well, you got other keys. You could use as long as a key as you wanted. If you had an earring that you wanted to use, something like that, you could. Some kind of charm. This is a silver charm that could hang down. So I mean, there's no end to what you could do. You could even hang a watch off of there if you wanted to and put beads on the watch. I had several keys, and these were the two I came down to. But in the end, I like the detail on that one. So that's how you can do that. And like I said, you can keep going. And you don't have to match them either. You could just put random beads, and you could go halfway up the necklace as long as you wanted it to go. But just pick a chain, and then if you notice, I picked a very large jump ring. I wanted it to move freely. I just think they're easier to wear when you don't have to worry about it. And then I could just let this free flow. Even the pendant is just hanging on there. And then if you want, you can always bead a charm and hang it off the clasp, and then put the clasp showing. I just like the feel of a necklace that moves. I like pendants that move. So I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, sorry, I'm moving the camera. I hope you enjoyed this video. A very simple project using what you have. Chains that you have, beads that you have, pendants you have, and this could be any color palette. I'm just showing you for the 4th of July, Labor Day, and Memorial Day holiday. This would go with anything. And you could make a matching beaded bracelet, which I'm going to do some. I got a bracelet on that I'm going to do one similar to that this week. And show you how to do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. This is a very long bracelet, a necklace, but I like it. And I'm going to list this in my Etsy shop. I may throw together a pair of earrings to go with it. I may not. I haven't decided. But technically, you could use any beads in this piece and make an earring, or you could use completely different beads. So I even have more of these that I could use as an earring with a small bead above it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.